My friends, each morning, as the sun rises, you and I are given a priceless gift, another chance to command our minds, direct our energy, and step boldly into the day. The way we speak to ourselves at dawn determines how we walk through the hours ahead. If we feed the mind with power, the world will bend to that power. If we allow fear and doubt to creep in, we stumble before the race begins. Definiteness of purpose is the starting point of all achievement. Without it, the mind drifts like a ship without a rudder, pushed by every wind of distraction, every storm of doubt, every tide of fear. When you rise each morning, you must remind yourself that your purpose is not something vague or accidental. It is the central flame that gives direction to every thought, every word, every action of your day. A person with definiteness of purpose does not wake up asking, "What shall I do with my time?" They rise with certainty, knowing their time already belongs to a mission. When you carry a clear purpose in your heart, decisions become easier, because every choice is measured against the question, does this bring me closer to my goal or lead me further away? With that standard, distractions lose their power. You will not be pulled into quarrels that do not serve you, nor waste hours on tasks that do not build you. Definiteness of purpose sharpens your focus until your energy is not scattered but concentrated, like a beam of sunlight directed through a magnifying glass. So intense it can ignite fire. It is not enough to wish vaguely for success, happiness, or wealth. A wish is a cloud, a purpose is a mountain. You must define clearly what you want, why you want it, and the price you are willing to pay. Then you must hold that vision so firmly in your mind that it becomes the compass of your life. Each morning, affirm it. Each day, act on it. And when obstacles rise, as they always will, your purpose becomes the strength that carries you forward, while others falter. Definiteness of purpose gives your mind an anchor in the storm, a torch in the darkness, and a reason to keep moving when comfort calls you to stop. It transforms ordinary hours into stepping stones and turns setbacks into lessons. Above all, it gives meaning to effort, because effort without meaning exhausts, but effort with purpose inspires. Tell yourself every morning, I have a definite purpose. I know where I am going. I know what I want, and I will not stop until I have it. For the world opens its doors not to the one who wanders, but to the one who knows where he is headed and walks there with unwavering determination. Faith in self and vision is the invisible power that separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. Without faith, even the strongest body falters, but with faith, even the smallest step can carry you across mountains. Each morning when you rise, you must remind yourself that belief is not borrowed from others. It is born within you. If you do not believe in your own ability, the world will not believe in it either. People, opportunities, and circumstances are drawn not to weakness, but to confidence. They can sense when you carry a vision that you trust, and they will either follow it, support it, or open doors for it. To hold faith in yourself is to stand before the mirror and say, I am capable, I am deserving, I am prepared to win. Doubt may whisper that you are not ready, not skilled enough, not worthy. But doubt is a liar that feeds on hesitation. Faith answers doubt with action. Every time you move forward in spite of uncertainty, you strengthen your own belief. Faith is not built in comfort. It is built in the moment you act without guarantees, trusting that your vision will guide you through the unknown. And what a vision! Vision is the picture of a future that does not yet exist, painted in the imagination and carried in the heart. It is the lighthouse that keeps you steady when the sea is rough. Many people stumble through life because they see only what is, not what could be. Vision allows you to see beyond the limits of the present, to reach for the invisible and make it real. But vision without faith is fragile. It dies at the first setback. Faith in your vision is what keeps you holding on when results are not immediate, when the world doubts you, when even friends and family cannot see what you see. Every invention, every empire, every triumph in history began with a person who dared to believe in themselves and in a vision that no one else could yet see. They spoke it, they dreamed it, they worked for it, and because they had faith, their vision became reality. That same power rests in you. The question is not whether you are capable. It is whether you will choose to believe you are capable. Tell yourself each morning, I have faith in who I am and in the vision I carry. My faith is stronger than doubt, stronger than fear, stronger than obstacles. I believe in my destiny, and I believe in my power to achieve it. For the world does not yield its treasures to those who wait for proof. It yields to those who create proof by believing first and acting with conviction until belief becomes fact. Auto-suggestion is the process by which you plant the seeds of your own destiny into the fertile soil of your subconscious mind. Whatever words you feed yourself, with enough repetition and emotion, become accepted as truth by the inner part of you that never sleeps, never argues, never questions. That inner part directs your habits, your feelings, your decisions, and ultimately the circumstances of your life. If you allow fear, doubt, and limitation to be spoken over and over again in your thoughts, the subconscious will take them as orders and construct a life that mirrors those limitations. But if you feed it words of power, belief, and determination, it will go to work silently, tirelessly, creating opportunities, sharpening your instincts, and aligning your actions to fulfill the very thoughts you impressed upon it. Every morning, when your mind is most open and unguarded, you have a sacred moment to program your day. The words you repeat at dawn set the vibration of your mind for the hours ahead. If you rise and say, I am weak, I am tired, I cannot do it, then weakness, fatigue, and failure will follow you like shadows. But if you rise and say with conviction, I am strong, I am disciplined, I am destined to win today, you ignite a force within that bends your actions towards success. The subconscious does not ask if it is true, it only acts as though it is. That is why auto-suggestion is both dangerous and miraculous. It will multiply whatever you give it. The most successful people you have ever known or heard of are not necessarily the most talented or the most educated. They are the ones who mastered the art of speaking to themselves with such intensity and repetition that their inner mind could not refuse to obey. They built self-confidence by suggestion. They built courage by suggestion. They built wealth, influence, and achievement by suggestion. And they did it daily, deliberately, until it became second nature. Understand this, you cannot escape the influence of auto-suggestion. You are practicing it every day, whether you realize it or not. Every time you say, I can't, or this will never work, you are issuing commands to your subconscious, and it will carry them out with perfect faithfulness. The only question is whether you will take control of this power or let it work against you. Therefore, speak to yourself each morning as though you are giving instructions to a faithful servant. Speak with clarity, speak with emotion, speak with repetition. Tell yourself, I am the master of my destiny. I am guided by intelligence, courage, and strength. Every action I take leads me closer to my goal. Repeat it until the words no longer feel like words, but truth. For when your subconscious accepts them, your conscious mind will act upon them, your habits will be shaped by them, and your world will be transformed by them. This is not magic. It is discipline. And discipline repeated becomes habit, and habit becomes destiny. Auto-suggestion is the bridge between who you are and who you wish to become. Guard it carefully, for your mind is always listening. A positive mental attitude is the lens through which all of life is seen, and the lens determines the picture. Two people can face the same circumstance. One sees defeat, the other sees opportunity. One gives up, the other grows stronger. The difference lies not in the event, but in the attitude carried into it. A positive mental attitude is not a denial of hardship. It is the refusal to be ruled by hardship. It is the decision to look at every setback and say, this is not the end of me. This is the making of me. Every morning you must remind yourself that your thoughts are magnets. If you expect failure, if you constantly dwell on what might go wrong, you will unconsciously act in ways that bring failure closer. But if you choose to expect victory, if you focus your mind on what can go right, your subconscious begins searching for solutions, your actions align with possibilities, and you attract the very circumstances that move you forward. The mind obeys the command of its dominant attitude. That is why optimism is not weakness. It is strength disguised as hope. Consider the greatest builders, leaders, and inventors. They faced defeat countless times. They endured ridicule, loss, and doubt. But they possessed a positive mental attitude so strong that each obstacle became fuel for their determination. They saw every temporary setback as a lesson, every rejection as redirection, every challenge as a hidden blessing. Without such an attitude, persistence would have crumbled. With it, persistence became unstoppable. A positive mental attitude does not mean you will never encounter problems. It means you will never allow problems to define you. It means you rise each morning saying, I expect good, I attract good, I will create good. And when the day delivers difficulty, as it always does, you respond with courage instead of despair. You ask, what can I learn here? How can this strengthen me? How can I turn this to my advantage? That is the voice of victory, the voice of a mind determined to win. The beauty of a positive mental attitude is that it spreads. People are drawn to those who radiate faith, hope, and energy. They want to work with them, support them, follow them. Doors open more easily for those who carry the light of optimism because the world craves light in the face of darkness. When you maintain that attitude, you not only lift yourself, you lift everyone around you. Tell yourself every morning, I will guard my thoughts today. I will see the good in every situation. I will carry a spirit of hope and confidence no matter what comes. For the mind is like a garden. If you plant seeds of negativity, weeds will grow. If you plant seeds of positivity, you will harvest strength, peace, and success. The choice is always yours, and the harvest is always equal to the seed. A positive mental attitude is not a luxury, it is a necessity. It is the difference between being crushed by life and being created by life. Hold it, protect it, and live it, and you will discover that the world changes the moment you change the way you look at it. Discipline and persistence are the twin pillars upon which all lasting achievement is built. Talent without discipline is wasted potential. A vision without persistence is nothing but a daydream. Every morning when you wake, you must remind yourself that success is not born in moments of inspiration alone. It is carved, little by little, in the daily practice of discipline and the unyielding power of persistence. Discipline is the ability to command yourself to do what must be done, even when you do not feel like doing it. Feelings are fleeting, but discipline is permanent. Feelings may tell you to stay in bed, to delay the task, to give in to comfort. But discipline answers back, I decide, not my moods. It is discipline that carries you to your desk when others are distracted. It is discipline that makes you rise before the world, train your body, sharpen your mind, and prepare your spirit. Without discipline, dreams die in the graveyard of procrastination. With discipline, even the smallest step, repeated daily, grows into giant accomplishments. Persistence is discipline stretched across time. It is the refusal to quit when the path is longer than expected, when the results come slower than hoped, when failures pile higher than planned. Most people start with excitement, but stop at the first sign of resistance. Persistence is what separates those who almost succeed from those who do. It is the invisible force that says, I will try again, I will rise again, I will continue until victory is mine. Think of the river that carves through rock. It is not its power in a single day that shapes the canyon, but its persistence over centuries. In the same way, your repeated effort, though it may feel small in the moment, is carving the future you desire. Every repetition, every attempt, every refusal to quit deepens the channel of your destiny until nothing can stop its flow. When discipline and persistence walk together, they become unstoppable. Discipline gives you structure today, persistence guarantees progress tomorrow. Discipline says, do it now. Persistence says, do it again. Together they create momentum, and momentum is the hidden power of all achievement. Once you are in motion, nothing can hold you back except the decision to stop. Each morning declare, I am disciplined. I do not wait for perfect conditions. I create them. I am persistent. I will never quit until I have reached my goal. Repeat it until it becomes the fiber of your being. Let your habits be forged by discipline and your victories secured by persistence. For the truth is simple discipline starts the journey. Persistence finishes it. Without one, the other is powerless. With both, the world itself must yield to your determination. Fear is the silent thief of dreams. It does not always come loudly. With shouts and chains, often it comes quietly, with whispers that say, "You are not ready, you are not worthy, what if you fail?" Left unchecked, those whispers grow until they paralyze the strongest will and bury the brightest vision. Mastery over fear is not about eliminating fear altogether, for fear is part of human nature, but about refusing to bow before it. It is about standing in the face of uncertainty and saying, "You will not rule me. I will act in spite of you." Every morning you must remind yourself that fear feeds on attention. The more you think about what could go wrong, the more power you give it. The more you rehearse your failures in your imagination, the more real they become. Yet fear has no life of its own. It survives only because you feed it. The moment you starve it by directing your thoughts toward courage, faith, and action, fear begins to shrink. Mastery over fear is not achieved in a single bold act, but in countless small decisions where you refuse to retreat. Each time you face what frightens you, the fear loses strength and your courage grows. Avoidance multiplies fear, confrontation destroys it. The mountain looks highest to the one who stands at its base wondering if they should climb. But the moment you take the first step upward, the mountain becomes smaller with every stride. Fear is always greatest before action. Once you move, its shadow fades. Those who accomplish great things are not fearless. They are simply unwilling to let fear dictate their choices. They launch businesses not because the risk is absent, but because their vision is stronger than their hesitation. They speak their truth not because they feel no anxiety, but because they know silence costs more. They attempt the impossible not because doubt has vanished, but because they have trained themselves to act even with doubt in the room. When you master fear, you master life. For fear is the root of procrastination, indecision, and failure. Remove fear, and you remove half the obstacles that hold people back. Cultivate courage, and every path becomes clearer, every challenge more manageable, every goal more attainable. Each morning affirm, "I am stronger than fear." Fear is a servant, not a master. I will act with courage today, no matter what stands before me. Say it until your subconscious accepts it as law. Then prove it with action, for words alone cannot kill fear. Only deeds can. Every courageous step you take chisels away at fear until it becomes nothing more than dust beneath your feet. Remember this truth: fear is temporary, but regret is permanent. Fear vanishes the moment you act, but regret lingers forever in the hearts of those who allowed fear to stop them. Choose courage. Choose action. Choose to live with mastery over fear, and the world will open itself to you. Action with vision is the crowning principle of achievement, for neither vision without action nor action without vision can create lasting success. Vision alone is a dream without substance, a castle in the clouds that looks grand from afar but vanishes when you reach for it. Action alone without vision is movement without direction, like running on a treadmill, full of effort but going nowhere. But when vision guides action and action fulfills vision, the two become a force that bends reality. Each morning, you must remind yourself that the world does not reward intentions, it rewards execution. Too many people spend their lives waiting for the perfect conditions to begin, waiting until they feel fully ready, waiting until the doubts are gone. But perfect conditions never arrive, and readiness comes only through doing. Vision gives you the map, but action is the journey. Without taking steps, even the clearest map is useless. Action with vision requires clarity of destination and boldness of movement. You must know where you are headed and then commit to daily steps that move you closer. They need not be monumental steps. Great achievements are not the result of one giant leap, but of many consistent actions compounded over time. Each task completed, each hour invested, each risk embraced is a brick laid in the foundation of your vision. Eventually, the structure rises, not because you wished it into existence, but because you built it. Action with vision also demands decisiveness. Opportunities are fleeting. Hesitation kills more dreams than failure ever will. You cannot wait until every detail is certain, for certainty comes only after you act. Each morning, resolve to move forward, even if only by a single decision, a single call, a single effort that keeps your vision alive. Progress, no matter how small, is victory. Those who change the world are not the ones who merely imagine better futures. They are the ones who put their hands to work and make those futures real. They write the book, start the business, build the bridge, speak the words, create the invention. They do not stop at dreaming. They act, and they act again, and they act until the vision that once lived only in their mind now stands before them in the world. Tell yourself every morning, my vision is my guide, but my action is my power. Today I will not only think, I will do. I will turn imagination into reality through the steps I take. Let your actions be proof of your belief. Let your progress be the evidence of your vision. For the world respects results, not wishes. It honors effort, not excuses. Remember this truth: vision is the seed, action is the soil, persistence is the water, and faith is the sunlight. Only together do they create the harvest. Act with vision, and you will not only reach your goals, you will build a life of purpose, power, and legacy. So tomorrow morning, and every morning after, stand tall, look yourself in the eye, and declare these truths with the voice of certainty. For when the mind accepts them, the world will obey them. Remember, success does not come to those who wait for the right time. It comes to those who make the time right, beginning with the first words spoken to themselves each dawn.